Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am here again with another very important topic, which is VLOOKUP with match from another workbook. This is a real life scenario, guys. We face such kind of scenario on our day-to-day work. Means you have one data somewhere and you want to fetch the required detail from some source data, which is there in some other location. So how to do this, we will learn in this tutorial, and I will show you some more things like column shuffling and how to means today you have one particular column on column number 2, but tomorrow that could be on column number 4. So in such a case, how to make this code dynamic that your code do not get stuck anywhere. So let's get started, guys. So here I would like to show you the data. I have some employee IDs available here, and basis of that I am supposed to fetch port ID, designation, name and location. Now I would like to showcase the source data. So if I go to my desktop, I have one folder here, and in this folder I have this particular file which is employee detail. If I open it up, so you can see employee ID, name, gender, designation, location, and port ID. But in my case, I am, I am supposed to fetch the port ID first, but it is in my source data, it is there on column F. So I want to make this dynamic so that if tomorrow this port ID comes on, fourth position, so my VBA will pick it up directly from there and will not throw any kind of error. So let me close this, guys, and let's start writing our scripting. So I am, first of all, I have clicked on developer tab. Then I will go to Visual Basic, and here I will insert one module, and I will say sub fetch data. Now guys, I will need to define some of the variables so that basis of these variables I could use them and um, solve this particular problem. So first of all, I'm saying dim x as integer because I would be running my loop. Then I'm saying dim ws as worksheet. Then I will say str file, dim str file as string. Then I will say um, dim table array as range. I will need to define more variables at a later stage, but first of all, let me define these variables first of all. So I will say set ws ed equals to sheets, this one employee data. So I will copy this and paste in here. I have defined my sheet. Now I will need to define one last row. So I'm saying last row equals to ws ed dot cells rows dot count comma 1 dot end xlookup dot row. Now guys, um let me define the this particular file which is going to be my source file. So I will say um, str file equals to. So guys, I am going to use a very dynamic function here, which is dir. So first of all, it is asking me for a path name. So I will need to define one path here as well. So before I go ahead, I am declaring one more variable, my path, as string. Then guys, after declaring this, I would declare my path here as well. I will define this. So in order to do this, what I will do, um, here, what I will do, I will go in that particular folder. I will copy the entire path from here and I will paste it somewhere in my workbook. So as of now, I have pasted it on H1. This is my case, guys. But in your case, if you would be, handling such kind of situation, it's my recommendation to define your path in some other sheet. Like I have this index sheet. I, you know, I could have defined it here, but as of now, I have defined it. But you guys are, matured enough and intelligent enough. So in your case, if you would be, handling such kind of situation, so please define your path somewhere else, because it means tomorrow your column might get increased. So in that case, your path will be clashed here. So this is my recommendation, to define it somewhere else. Now it is on column H1. So I will now define it as WSED dot cells. So in place of cell, I will use range method. So I'm saying the value which is there on my H1, uh, you know, cell, that will be my path. Now I will come here. I will say str file dir. So this value is going to be stored in this particular variable. So I will simply copy it. I will paste it here. Then um, I will, use one ampersand. Then this, then one slash. I will close this and another ampersand. Then guys, what I will say is, I will say, first of all, I will give one asterisk, then dot, then xlxx. I will, you know, after this, I will say VB normal. This is my path, guys. And I think I should define it in double quotation. Yes. So let me check this. If, you know, this file, which is employee detail, has got stored into this str file. So let me just check this. So in order to check this, what I will do, I will press F8 key one by one so that I could see it step by step. So, so this is my path. This is my last row, and yeah. So if you would have a look there, str file, the employee details dot xlsx has got stored into this. Now we can open this file. So, but before I proceed ahead, what I will do, I will define, I'm saying b name equals to this workbook dot name, means my original workbook, which is this yt VLOOKUP, will get stored here. So let me just check this as well. So if I hover my cursor here, so it is saying yt VLOOKUP dot xlsx. So this is all okay. Now I can open my source file. So what I will say workbooks dot open, then I will say file name and this. So here what I will say my path and ampersand, then this another ampersand, and then I will say this str file. So it will open the required file for me. Now guys, I have defined this, but again, I will say one more thing. I will need to define these many things as well. So first of all, what I'm saying is I will need to take one more range here. So I am saying h range means horizontal range as range. So, and I will need to define this range here as well. So what I will say set h range equals to wsed dot range, and I will be picking up the whole range, guys. That is 1 1. And now what I will do, I will you know define these column names as well. So I am saying column ed means employee id. So I am saying worksheet function dot match, and within match what I am going to match is, first of all I am going to match this employee id. So I will define it here, then I will say h range and then 0. Then I will copy this and I will make another change, that is pi, port id. So I will be you know copying it from here and pasting in here. Then copy, you can say column des and copy it as well and paste it here. Then you will be thinking that what I am doing this, I am defining these column names in order to make my code more dynamic. Okay, so I will showcase you. Then I am saying column n, so that will be the name. So I will paste, and lastly I will say this one, location. So loc, and I will paste this here. Now guys, as you can see, location is on my 5th position. So, and port ID is on 2nd position. So if I will again test it like one by one. So if you will hover your cursor here, you can see it is saying 1. Then this is 2. This is 3. This is 4 and this is 5. Now let me make one change here. In place of this designation, I will cut this and I will shuffle it. Now name is on my last column and location is on 3rd column. So let me test it once again and hover your cursor here, location. Now you can see this is 3rd. So no matter your columns are getting shuffled here and there, it will never ever, you know, get failed. So now we have, opened our source data at the, last. Here our workbook has been opened. Now I will say set table array. And what will be the table array? So let me just check there. How many columns are there? So we have 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 columns here. So what I will say means A to F. So I will say active workbook dot active sheet dot range A to F will be my table array. Means now guys, we are here, and um since we have opened our workbook here, so when that source data will be opened at that point in time, that will become your active workbook. So in order to come back to your original workbook, means that this one, so what you will say windows and b name that we have defined here. So I will say windows bname dot activate. So it will again reactivate that. Okay. Now I can initiate my loop here. So um so this one is my variable for loop. So have I defined any last row? Yeah, I have defined my last row here. So what I will do, rather than defining my last row here, what I will do, when I will reactivate my workbook, then I will define this last row, and here I will initiate my loop. So I will say for x equals to 2 to this last row. Okay guys, now I think I should have taken one more variable here. So I'm saying xy as integer. So I have taken two variables because I will need to initiate two loops here. So I'm saying for x 2 to last row, and I'm saying for y. So let me just define the last column as well. So I'm saying last column equals to ws ed dot cells. So 1 comma columns dot count dot end excel to right dot column. So this will be my last column. So I'm saying it will run from 2 to last column. Now we can initiate our, means now we can apply VLOOKUP. So I'm saying WSED dot cells. So X will be my row index and Y will be my column index. The value should be worksheet function dot VLOOKUP. And here, what will be my lookup value? So lookup value will be this one. So what I will do, I will simply take this and I will say the value which is on column 1 will be my lookup value. Then I will say table array. Then I will need to use the worksheet function again, and at this point in time I will say match. And in this match, what I will say, this one, the y. So rather than copying this, I will take this and I will go at the last. This will be my lookup value, means row will be 1 and column will be y. Okay, match. Then h range, then 0, then 0. So next y, next x. So this is the whole code, guys. Um, since this code is very, it is very long. So when you face such kind of problem, what you can do, you just put one underscore and then enter. So in this way, it will it will not throw you any error. Okay. Now guys, let me check this if I am getting my desired output or not. So F8, F8, F8. So it will open the source workbook for me. You can see this workbook has been opened. Now it will define the table array. It will reactivate my original workbook. We have come here. Last row and last column we have defined. So last row is 12. Last data is on 12th row. And last column. Okay. 16. Why it's saying this? Excel to left, I think. I'm not sure because it's been a long time. So let me just again check this. So last column is, yeah, last column is now 8. So why it is saying 8? Because this is still here. uh, our code will run till here. So let me make it, um let's check. So guys, you can see, but on port ID it is giving me Ajay. We will need to check this location mail, and we have got some error here. Why we have got error? Because after this we do not have anything, so it is not getting anything here. So let me make this thing, the thing which I was talking about earlier. So rather than putting this path here, what I will say, I will cut it, and um, I am giving the name of this new sheet as config. And on this config sheet, I will cut this and I will paste my path here. And then I will go back to my code and I will change the path. So my path. So I will say sheets config dot range A1, the value which is there on A1. And why I was not getting this TID means we have Ajay there. Why we are getting this? Let me recheck this. So it is again giving me Ajay, Ritu. Designation. Designation is all correct, but why we are getting this? Name. Name is at the last. So what is happening? In match, okay. So rather than putting this like this, what we can do after table array, if I say, uh, let me put this here as well. So if I paste it here and I say X range, and I would say active sheet dot range a11, and then column name column, what it will do for me. No, it is, even though we are getting our result in correct manner, means we are getting the result, but it is not coming in a right order. Means we have name here. Let me recheck this. If I do this manually, so how will I do this? So I am saying this is my lookup value and this one is my table array. Then I'm saying match. So here in match, this is going to be my lookup value. Okay, this is the lookup value, and in table array, yes. So this function is giving me the right output. So I think mm, if I go back here, this is giving me the column index number in 1 1. So these are the column index numbers. Worksheet function VLOOKUP. This is the table array. If I say rather than H range, if this is X range, then what will happen? Yes, guys, if I click here, so now you can see names are there. We have got this. Now let me reshuffle this. Okay. Now in your source data, let's suppose this designation is there on column number 2. This port ID is on column number 3. And this gender is on. Now your data is shuffled. Let me just close this and let me run this code. So your data has been shuffled in your source data. But if you will click, you can see. Have you got any error? You have got your result. Means if there are changes in your raw data very frequently on a daily basis, but the code which you have written here will never ever throw you any kind of error. Even though guys we have to do some R&D, you know, rather than defining this H range, it was not required. Actually, the data and this X range was required because we will be looking through the columns in our source data rather than the original data. That is why we have done this. So guys, for your kind convenience, I will, attach this working in the description. You can find this workbook from there, and I hope you have enjoyed this video and learned something dynamically. So, guys, if you have liked this video, please share, subscribe. This is my heartiest request to support this channel, and I will keep on, making some more useful videos related to Power BI, SQL, and obviously I keep on making the videos in VBAs. So just support. Thanks for watching. बाय बाय, टेक केयर एंड जय हिंद दोस्तों।